Hey guys, welcome back. Mike here at MH Tutorials. Well guys, today we're going to do something neat, at least I think so. We're going to model a traditional Japanese room, okay? Now I had the pleasure to visit Japan and I thought that was really awesome. So hopefully this tutorial will be as well. Okay, we're going to start off by creating one of the sliding panel doors. So for that, we're going to take a polygon cube, drag that out in the grid, pull that up, and let's go to the attribute editor and sorry, Jordan. Okay, and let's see, we're gonna set a width of 1, height of 1, and then we're gonna select that and we're gonna scale that down and stretch that out. Okay, now we're gonna switch to our top view. We're gonna hit Control D to duplicate, hit W, move that over, and hit Shift D until we are there. All right. Then we're going to take one of these, hit Control D, E to rotate until we are at exactly 90 degrees. We're going to hit W, we're going to move that up to the top, move that over. Let's zoom in on this guy here. Right click Vertex, drag select those, hit F to zoom in. So we can move that over. Right click Object Mode, hit W and bring that down. And then from this end, right click Vertex, drag select, bring that in, F to zoom in, and we're just gonna go to object mode, take that and move that up slightly. Okay, cool. Then we're gonna hit Control D again, move that down, and hit Shift D down to the end. And then we're gonna take this whole section, go to Mesh, Combine, right click Vertex, drag select these bottom vertices, zoom in, and bring those down. All right, drag select it again, right click object mode, come on, there we go, mesh combine. Okay, next we're going to take a polygon plane, pull that out, move that in. Let's make sure that that is fitting inside the dimensions of our sliding door. So first we're going to arrange the top corner there. Then we're going to right click, go to edge, select that edge and drag that out. And then we're going to go down to the bottom, select that edge and bring that in. Okay. Now from our front view, we're going to make sure that, oops, right click object mode, make sure that it's sitting inside of our frame. Okay. Hit 5 for shaded mode, which will give you this. We're going to drag select it, mesh combine, E to rotate, rotate that up to 90 degrees. There we go. We're going to pull that guy up and push that out. And then we're going to hit Control D to duplicate, move that over, make sure these two are aligned. There we go. And hit Shift D twice. All right. Okay, that will be our initial wall, if you will. Take that one, Control D, pull it out, E, rotate that 90 degrees. We're going to position it from our top view. So we're going to hit W, we're going to move that over and move that up. F to zoom in. All right. We're going to hit Control D on that guy. We're going to bring that down here. And we're going to give that a bit more space. That looks about right. And then we're going to hit Control D to duplicate that, pull it forward. Not too much. Let's check that from our top view. Let's say there. And then we're going to bring that in. And our spacing needs to be such that if these doors are closed, that we have the good spacing, okay? So we're going to Control D on that one as well. Bring that out. F to zoom in. We want these two to almost touch. So that would be the appropriate space. F to zoom in here. So we'll bring that back like so. And then we're going to open up the doors. So we're going to take that guy, move it over, and we'll just count the number of spaces. So that's 1, 2, 3. Let's take that one. 1, 2, 3. Still a bit limited, so we'll do a bit more. 5. We'll do 6. And we'll move that one over as well. 1, 2, 3 more. Okay. That already looks much better. Okay, cool. Then we're going to take this guy, Control D to duplicate, move over in this direction, E. We're going to rotate that by 180. Back to our top view, hit W, move that down and in, and let's make a clean connection there. Okay, let's see what we got so far. All right, we're going to hit Control D again, and we're going to move that over to about here, and we're starting to get our framework, if you will. All right, next we're going to create a polygon cube, give it some height, and we're going to position that in that corner. So move that down, move that in right there, and let's right click, go to Vertex, take these two and bring them in. Height wise, let's drop that guy a bit. So right click object mode, F to zoom in. Let's bring them down like that. All right. We'll keep that straight, that's okay. And let's see. All right, that's good. Then let's deal with the floor. We'll take another polygon plane. Check from our top view. We're going to move that until it's aligned in the left top corner. Right click edge, bring that in just slightly, and then take that edge and bring that one down until it's underneath the wall right there. And we'll take our beam here, take the vertices and move that over. Okay. Then we'll take our floor, Control D to duplicate, move that over and pull that up. Like so. Looks like we need to move these guys up a bit. That looks better. And then we'll take this guy, actually that guy, sorry. Control D, duplicate that. Go to our top view. Make sure it's connected. Hit Shift D to duplicate, which will give us this view, and this will roughly be our rendering angle. Okay. So let me think. What we'll do is we'll bookmark that. View, bookmark, edit bookmarks. We'll call this new room and apply and close. Now we're just going to take our ground plane here and pull that out for a sec. And let's add some subdivision. Edit mesh, insert edge loop tool, option box, multiple, and we'll do 2. So 2 there. Q on your keyboard. Select them both. Hit R. Scale them out to the edges. We'll hit G to repeat. No, not that. Edit mesh, insert edge loop tool. We'll do 2 there. And then we'll hit R and we'll scale them out. Looks good. We'll hit G to repeat. 2 right there. And then I'm going to select them both. Edit mesh, bevel, which will give us that. And then we will, let me see, hit G to repeat. Sorry, no, edit mesh, insert edge loop. 2 there. And edit mesh and bevel. And then we'll take these 2, hit R, push them in. Take these 2 and push them in. Oops, all right. And then we will, let me see. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. That's fine. Okay. So then we're going to right click at a face. And we're going to select these rows here. And that row right there. Right click, assign a material. You're thinking about it. There we go. Lambert. And we'll change that to black. And then we'll take these faces. Right click, assign new material. Lambert. And we'll select yellow and push that very close towards white. Okay. All right. Object mode. We're going to push that guy back in. Just make sure that it is sitting okay. That would be good. All right. Then we'll take these guys. All right. Right click, assign the material, Lambert, black. There we go. And now I need to address the faces, or sorry, the panels in the back. So I'm going to take all of these and then mesh separate, and let's see what we got for wireframe mode. Just trying to get the panels only, which is going to be tricky. Yeah, that will work. Drag select, deselect the top, drag select, deselect the top. And we're just going for the panels that we created inside. Okay. It's a bit tedious, but we'll get there. That one. Okay, looks like we got all of them. Right click, assign the material, Lambert, change it to yellow, push that closely to white. Okay, and then we're going to create some transparency here. Okay, hit 5, hit the checkered ball. Okay, that's starting to look good. All right, we will give this beam here, right click, assign the material. We'll do a Lambert, hit our checkered box. I'm going to go with File, and I'm going to find a file that I got here, which is Cherrywood. That would be appropriate. There we go. Now we're going to create the deck outside. So for that, Polygon Cube, give that just a little bit of height, not too much. From our top view, we're going to get that guy into position. Have to zoom in. Now we're going to hit R, we're going to scale it down to make it nice and thin, and then hit W and pull it down. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate that, pull it out, and leave just a little bit of spacing in between. Actually, yeah, we'll do that, and then Shift D. Let's do about 5. Just quickly check from our bookmark to see if that looks okay. Yeah, and we can actually bring that up slightly. That's good. Okay. And in addition, we're going to create a section of railing. And because these walls are transparent, what we can do is go to Mesh, Combine, right-click Vertex, drag select these ends, and drag them out over here. That's good. Let's create a quick railing. So Polygon Cube, give it some height, push that in and up. Let's see if that thing is square. Let's do 0.5 by 0.5. Let's check our height. Check its position. That's good. Now we're going to hit Control D to duplicate that, E to rotate it, rotate to -90. We're going to hit W, we're going to move it over, and we're going to hit R, and we're going to scale it in quite a bit. Hit W, push that down, and let's just see where we're at. Maybe a bit more. All right, so we got that. Control D to duplicate that, move it over, maybe a bit more. Shift D all the way to the end, which is good. We're going to drag select our deck. That's a bit too much. Let's do it from our top view. That's better. Right click, assign new material, Lambert, checkered box, file, and we're going to go with cherry wood. Once again, there we go. So we're starting to get there. Now this color that we are using on the face right here, which is our Lambert 3, we're going to do that here. Assign existing material, Lambert 3, there we go. Okay, let's quickly check our bookmark. Okay, cool. Then we are going to create our backdrop. So for that, we'll take a polygon plane. We're going to hit E, and we're going to rotate that until it's at -90. We're going to hit W, push that back a little bit, and bring that in. Let's just check from our bookmark. All right. We're going to apply our backdrop on there. Take that face, right click, assign new material, Lambert, checkered box for a color, file, and I got something called Japanese garden. There we go. Now, as you can see, it's not positioned correctly, so select it, create UVs, automatic mapping, edit UVs, UV texture editor, zoom out a little bit, right click UV, drag select that. We're going to hit E, and we're going to start to rotate it. And then we're going to hit W, we're going to move that over. And we're going to hit R, and we're going to scale that out. Okay, now that looks much better. Again, we're going to check our bookmark. Okay, so that needs some tweaking. Right click object mode, we're going to bring that up. Let's go back to our bookmark. So we're going to bring that up. Let me think. Yeah, that would work. Okay, cool. Okay, so now we got that. Let's deal with our ceiling. Okay, we're not going to be too fancy with that. We're just going to create a board type thing. So we're going to create another polygon plane. Go to Edit Mesh, insert Edge Loop tool, option box, multiple edge loops, and let's do 10. And we're going to add them in this direction, like so. Hit Q on your keyboard. We're going to drag select these edges, not that one. Edit Mesh, bevel. And then we're going to zoom in, right click face, and we're going to select every other face, like that. Edit Mesh, extrude, and pull that down to get that effect right there. Okay. Right click object mode. We're going to go to our top view. Hit W, bring that in. F to zoom in. Let's align that top left corner of the room again. And that's actually not bad. We're going to bring that up. And let's check our bookmark. View, bookmark. New room, there you go. Okay, not too bad. Now let's give that some material. And I'm inclined to use the cherry wood again. So I'll right click, assign new material, Lambert, checkered box, file, folder, cherry wood. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to create a quick table for in our room. So get a cube, drag that out, and pull that up, not too high. Make sure it's nice and square. So let's do 15 by 15. Edit Mesh, insert Edge Loop tool, option box, 2 edge loops, add 2 there and 2 there. Hit Q on your keyboard. We're gonna click on these, hit R, scale them out to the corners. I'll do the same with the other 2. Quickly check from our top view to make sure that the corners are square. Looks fine. Q on your keyboard. Now let's create some table legs here. Okay. Right click face. Select these 4 faces. Edit Mesh. Extrude. Hit W and pull them down. Not too much. We need it to be a fairly low table. Let's say, yeah, that's about fine. Go to object mode. Let's move that table in. And we want that table to be fairly centered with the square that's in the middle of the room, which would be that one. So let's scale it down a bit. Check on it for height. Hit W, move that up. Let's see, that would be our floor right there. Have to zoom in. Okay, cool. So we got that table. Right click, assign new material. Let's go with a, let me think, a Fong E. And we'll make that black. And let's see, and I'm gonna bring down the reflectivity a bit. Let's say 0.15, which is all right. We're gonna create a quick vase from the corner there. So we're gonna take a Polygon Cylinder, just pull that up. let's give that 40 subdivision. Let's do 6 in height and 0 caps. There we go. Right click face, select the top face and hit delete. Then let's switch to this view and take our vase and kind of move that to a clear area. Hit F to zoom in. Right click Vertex, drag select these, hit R, scale that out, drag select these 3, and drag select the one in the middle. Okay, and then we're gonna go to object mode. We're gonna stretch the whole thing out a little bit. You have to zoom in. That looks fine. Right click object mode, edit mesh, extrude. A thickness of, let's say, 0.5. Okay. Object mode and hit 3 on your keyboard, which will give us a nice smooth, actually not that great. We need to add one edge loop. Edit mesh, insert edge loop tool, option box, regular setting. We'll add one down there. Hit Q on our keyboard, go to object mode, and then hit 3. That's a bit cleaner, okay? All right, let's get this guy into position. Have to zoom in. We're gonna move that, so hit W to this corner, and it's obviously too big, so we'll need to address that. Hit R, scale it down. We're gonna hit W, we're gonna bring that down a bit. And let's see what we got. Still very big, so we're gonna scale it down and maybe pull it up. Bring it down to the floor. Check from our top view. That looks about right. Okay, so we got that. Now we know that our table here is Fong E1, so we'll do the same with this guy. Existing material. There we go. Hit our checkered box right there. Okay, now we're not going to do too much detail, but we can add one more, and that would actually be a painting. So I'm going to create a rectangular plane. Not quite sure of the size just yet, so right click face, assign new material. Let's go with a Lambert, checkered box, file, folder, and this is what I was looking for. Okay, all right. Now we're gonna go to object mode. Just hang on. Let's have a look. Now we're gonna stretch this guy out a bit. That looks pretty awesome. Edit mesh, extrude 0.5, and let's take that painting, hit E, rotate that up to 90 degrees, rotate that in that direction, 90 degrees. And let's move that painting into our house. F to zoom in, R to scale down, W to pull up. And that's going to be on that wall. Let's check it from our bookmark. Okay, we're going to move that over right there. Okay, so we got that. Let's create a few pillows. Take a polygon cube, pull that up, and let's give that some subdivision. Okay, so we'll do 10 by 5 by 10, like so. We're going to go to dynamics. Let's see, sorry, and dynamics. Go to nmesh and create ncloth. Okay, then we're going to go to, let me think, it's been a while. I think it was the nucleus. Just bear with me one sec, guys. Just hang on one sec. Yeah, that's what it was. Select it. We created ncloth. We're going to go and select air. Okay, and then let's select 1500 frames. Now, obviously, we need a bit more than that, so I'm just going to go back to our start. Magnitude. Okay, let's do a bit more than that. Let's do 8. And we don't really need gravity, but we'll fix that in a sec. Let me see. Sorry guys, I was looking in the wrong area. Alright, so we have our cube, right? And we went to nmesh and create ncloth. That's fine. We're going to select our object. We're going to go to our ncloth shape tab. We're going to go to pressure, and then we're going to increase this pressure here. So let's do 0.5 and hit play. Okay, a bit more. So we're going to go back to frame 1. Let's do 1. Still not enough. Let's do 2. That's a bit too much. 1.5. Let's try that. Now let's see, that's still fairly thick. So let's bring it down 1.2. Still going to go back to 1 though, because we don't want these pillows to be too thick. Even less, 0.7. Okay, that works. Okay, cool. So we're going to select that, edit, delete by type, history, modify center pivot, and I'm just going to push that pillow in. Select my top view. Now that guy is pretty large, so we're going to hit R. We're going to scale that down and bring that in. And let's make sure it's sitting on the floor. Hit F to zoom in. Okay, that's not bad. Still a bit thick though. Let's see if I can get away with doing this. Let's see if we're going to see that in our bookmark. Actually, that's going to work. Okay. So we're going to hit Control D to duplicate that pillow. Move it over. From our top view, make sure that we maintain symmetry. And then we're going to select these two. Hit Control D. And move that over to that end at roughly the same distance. Okay. We're going to take these 4 pillows. Right click, assign new material, Lambert. Let's change that to red. And then select our color tab and bring that towards dark red. Okay. So once again, check our bookmark. All right. So that's our scene thus far. Now let's set up some lighting. So we're going to start out by creating some lighting outside. Create lights. Let's do a directional light. Pull that out and up. Have to zoom in so we can see where it's pointing. We're going to rotate that. And actually we're going to hit T on our keyboard, which will allow us to direct our light towards that opening there. And we're going to hit 7 on our keyboard so we can see where our light is pointing at. Okay. So if we now go to our bookmark, let's see here. Dum, 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 dum. Okay, now we're going to create a point light, and we are going to, let's see, I always get the wrong handle, that's the one. We're going to bring that one up to make sure that we have enough light in our scene there. Okay, check our bookmark. That looks okay. Maybe a bit bright, so we'll do 0.5, which is good. We're going to create a light inside the room. So we're going to go to create light, area light. Have to zoom in. Where'd he go? He's right there. And I want one to be in the room over here. And we'll take this direction thingy. So we're going to push that light back and up. And we'll focus that one around that position there. Check our bookmark. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of my light to green. And then a very, very soft shade, kind of mint, if you will. All right, let's just check that. That's not bad. And we need one more light. So we are going to create a light, and we're going to do another. Actually, let's do a, yeah, we'll do an area light. We're going to push that back. You'd have to zoom in. Where is he at? Right there. Okay. And let's bring that one down to 0.2. And we'll select that same color. view bookmark. There we go. Okay, now I'm not quite sure if we're gonna be bothered by this light right here. Okay, so now we're gonna go to our render settings. I'm gonna set it to mental ray, indirect lighting, select global illumination and final gathering. Okay, quality tab, let's do 1.5. In my common tab, I'm gonna increase the image size to HD 1080, and that should be it. Now I'm gonna hit render. I'll pause the video. I'll see you guys when it's done. Okay, see you in a sec. Well, guys, before, I saw something that I wanted to change quickly before we finished up. So one of the things that I missed a little bit in the render was a light above the table. Okay, so we're just going to quickly model that, right? So I'm going to start by creating a polygon cylinder, and I'm just going to pull that up. I'm going to go to my poly cylinder tab. I'm going to set, let's do 8. 8, that's fine. We'll do in height, we'll do 3. That's okay. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, and then I'll just right click, go to edge, and I'm just going to select these vertical edges here. There we go. I'm going to go to my polygons menu, edit mesh and bevel. Actually, not quite what I was looking for. So let's not do that. Okay. All right, what we're going to do is double click on that edge and on that edge. I'm going to hit R and I'm going to stretch them out. And then right click face. Select that top row and that bottom row. Edit mesh, extrude. Hit R. Looks like I don't have them all. That looks better. Just turn this off so I can see what's going on. All right. Edit mesh, extrude. Hit R. Yeah, that looks much better. And of course, I got one down here that I don't want to extrude. There we go. That looks all right. Then I'm going to right click, go to Vertex, select that one, hit W, pull that up. That all looks good. And let's see, then while I have that, I'm going to hit chamfer vertex to kind of flatten that top here. Let's right click object mode, select the entire thing, right click assign new material, Lambert. Let's see, oh, there you go, Lambert. File, folder, cherrywood. Okay. Now these faces will be changed. So right click face. Like that. Assign new material. Lambert. Yellow. Push back to almost white. And then go to transparency and bring that up. Not too much. That looks better. Let's create a cable for the top here. and move that in until we're sitting in the middle. Let's give that some subdivision. Let's do 40 and scale it in. And then from this view, hit F to zoom in, hit W, bring that up to the top. Looks like one of these faces doesn't have the right color, unless it's just my imagination, and it is. All right. Okay, we're going to go to Mesh Combine, modify center pivot. Let's scale that guy down, hit W and bring that into our house and push that down. From our top view, let's make sure that that's in the middle of our table. Have to zoom in. That is not bad. It's still fairly large. Let's see how that looks from our bookmark. Okay, so now we can hit W, we can bring that up. Yeah, maybe a bit higher. All right, and then create light, point light. Now let's get that point light inside. So from that angle it looks good. From our top, let's bring it right in there. And let's bring the intensity down to 0.5. And again, take that green and make that a very soft green. Okay, so we are on our bookmark. Yes, we are. Anything else I need to change? Don't think so. Let's hit 7 on our keyboard. Yeah, all right. Okay, guys, this should be it. We're gonna render again. All right, guys, well, this is the final render. Now, keep in mind that if I were to model a room like this, it would typically take me about 20 hours to do this, right? Now, we did this under an hour, so as far as detailing goes, I tried to fit this into a tutorial, and if I could go on and on with this and, add details and tweak it until it looks perfect. It does not look perfect, but that's not what this is about. This is about sharing methods with you guys to help you guys create your own, okay? So that said, thank you guys for watching. A huge, huge thank you to all of my subscribers. Just hit 3,000. That's awesome. See you guys next time, and well, bye.